graphics, and he is currently works at TCL Research HK as a senior researcher, in which he works with the virtual reality team that develops new motion tracking systems, VR development tools, and custom VR contacts. And Pravani is a UX designer in VR team at TCL Research HK, mainly focused on content creation and multimedia production. And previously, Pravani worked as a front-end web developer for a Hong Kong startup company. And she graduated with honors. And now let's
thank you. So this is the WebVR and the film workshop, and this is a workshop, so you don't really have to be good at programming. Actually, we don't have any steps that require real programming. You don't have to touch Java. As usual before, the rest which can be found in the workshop page link. That is, the link is in the requirement of the workshop somewhere here. The only thing that you really need is the Script Home 3D software, and then yeah, you know how to launch like a static server. Yeah, it's really simple. What I found is that to have something simple that works on VR, particularly the web for WebVR, is actually ridiculously simple. So for VR, it can refer to a lot of things. Some people think that like even for 360-degree photo or video is some kind of VR. Won't agree, but in some sense, it's kind of a virtual environment that people can experience. And most of the time, we refer to interactive VR, where you have to put on a head-mount display of some sort, and then you may have some motion controller that you can hold it on your hand, and those require, of course, some high-end hardware, for example, the HTC Vive or the Oculus Rift. And then there are some more academically side research, like the cave system on the right, which is a few walls that surround a user that is projection method in as a 3D environment, and then when you walk inside the cave system, you kind of just like you're actually VR, and then the whole VR setup, no matter hardware or software, is still kind of unstable. There is no such standard thing. It's very diverse, and then they provide different level of immersion and interactivity and realism. And then for WebVR is mostly we are targeting to use the dual cardboard, and then there are two lens there that can, and then the lens with kind of virtual environment with the dual cardboard is to rotate your head and see things in different angles. There is on the top right corner, and then when you press it, actually it will press the screen of the phone screen for you. So it is kind of interesting, but actually very limited interaction. So it's a single button kind of walking simulator most of the time, most of the dual cardboard applications. So let's take a look at what people feel. It's in general about VR, not particularly WebVR, but yeah, interesting use case.
Oh, you blocked it with your hammer?
Oh, didn't block that though.
What's this guy doing? Just knock it off. Nice.
Taking your friend's skull all the way through blood.
This video is kind of I just borrowed it from the A3 presentation kit, and our company TCO is kind of just demo and prototypes of VR apps, and I will show it after the workshop if we have time. What we are going to do in this workshop is to create a very simple static virtual room, a house, and then try and walk inside it. The very nice web page there is like all those first-person shooter game is not quite visible, but yeah, so you can. If you notice, there's the behavior on desktop on Android, and you click that button, it will view VR mode. Let me try. As the banner photo of our repository in GitHub. And then the link to this page is actually inside our workshop page in the conference. You can click and we do it once. We have plenty of time, I think, for this workshop. So we go to step here, getting into the virtual world with WebVR A3, and then check the Pervo link. So just click on it and to direct you to the. On top of that, is when to walk around, it also works, but I use to the best team. Your mobile phone, if you use Chrome, then there's a nice feature by clicking on an item called the recent tabs, and then if you will find the web page is, and then after it load it up, you may not find the role because sometimes it goes behind you, so you have to actually turn around and to see the role. Yeah. So let's try the VR mode by tapping on the blue screen, something like this. And then to actually use it, by default, it should be padded something. That's interesting.
You don't need to, you just press it.
You can. The way to walk inside it is to press the screen. Once you touch the screen, you will walk forward. To turn around, you have to turn around the whole body. That's silly, but that's how this blue car operates.
How do you do that? You rotate your.
Let's see. Try it. Yeah, you have to point yourself towards the door and then press the screen, and then you will walk straight through the door and get inside the room. Then we chop. And this for this one, I already walked inside the room, so you may take a look. Of course, it depends on your phone, and also actually this blue cover is kind of cheap thing that is manufactured, I believe in Mainland, I think. And there is some a little bit higher quality one that I just passed the blue one. It's actually a little bit high quality that is shipped from somewhere overseas. Yeah, it's just the shipping cost is higher, and it's still kind of cheap comparing to there's a good thing about WebVR because it's really easy to set up. If we consider trying to bring the HTC5 head-mount display here and set it up for you to play with, but well, we kind of don't want to do so because it's a good thing. So that's the things we are going to build, and then the 3D model is going to be built using the Swift 3D, which is a free and open source software based on Java. And then after you build the 3D model, we will import it and create the. So I will pass it to Papani to actually do the modeling.
I think most of you have installed this software for Swift 3D, and it is like interior design 3D simple model for some users, maybe home users to use. And I think it is very user friendly that you can, when you are going to install your home, you can just try it and see if the furniture fits your home. And after open the software, and then we have to build a room in this software, and they have a model that is pre-built in the software, and you can choose when after we have built the walls and the floor, just like the Sims. And then after in the right hand side is actually where the house, and it will have the size. And if you have dragged any 3D models inside this plane, and it will have the name of the 3D models here, and then the size in here. And let's start. And we'll start button, or you can have in here. Then you can just draw around under your 3D view. And to end, you can take exit, and it will end. Like so. And just click this one, create row, and then double click the walls that you have already built, and then you could already build along with floor. And for actual, if you want to change the size of the wall or change the room of the wall, just double click the wall, and then it will have every parameters you want to change, like the color of the walls, the texture of the wall, and also to create the roof of the room, you can double click the floor, and then here have display select. Make sure you have clicked this, otherwise your room will without a roof after you display on the VR. But it will not display the page. You have to see the interior. Windows, like double windows here. And you have open. Here have some washer, and then you can just put the washer, cooker in a straight line. And of course, every 3D object, you just double click it, you can change all the size, texture, and color. And you can create your own one now.
The floor.
How to create a form? Okay. After you build, and then double click, the will automatically create the form. If you have time in home, you can actually input some PNGs or JPEG file or it's really pretty. It's really fun. Really more of it. If you click on it and import it into this software as a back.
So let's give you a few. For now, I will give the Power 9 access to some And we can ask properly now.
If you have finished your home, export through 3D view, export to OBJ format, and then choose a place you want to save. Like, and OBJ.
So do you think this is easy? Yeah. 3D model, just go to 3D view on the top, and then export to OBJ format, and then choose a place, and then give it a name. And then, oh, by the way, you better save the project file of this, not the project file. You cannot re-import that into script. So we better save that to just Command S, I mean, or Control S, or file save. And then I usually use the same name as the OBJ file. So S01. And then you should find your in your folder. So the SH3D is the project file, and then the OBJ file is what we need. And then there is also a .mtl file, which is actually the material properties of the OBJ file. They come in pairs. And then there could be some other .jpeg files also, which are the texture that is used inside the 3D model. Those are also needed to be imported into A-frame. So yes, those are the files we need. To do to share with it, and yeah, you have to know how to manage system. If you don't know what I mean, you better use GitHub account to create a repository with GitHub, and then create a new repository, which can be new repository, and then give it the name. And then if it's kind of important, visualize this repository. In a website, by default it's on, feature on. So go to setting, the setting tab, and then scroll down. There is from the drop down menu, select the master branch. After it's saved, it just says that to be a project it created. Yeah, go back to code, and then if you are not using Cloud9, you just clone the project you just create by git clone and then the project URL Cloud9. Head over to Cloud9, go to the dashboard. You have to look some interface like this. Plus button. Project. For the T project, instead of the default 3-hour workshop, you somehow discontinue, disable the your associated with the for this workspace. So as you can imagine, just input the clone the 5 template and then create the workspace. Inside and then we can assign there is the project structure, there's the tree, everything is normal, and actually you can sort of let's try to preview the page on the top. We will click it and then in another tab because we haven't really entered anything into the web page. Save it. And then you show that it actually works. If you visit it in another tab, something you just press the instruction, just copy it all by ourselves. So it's also the same thing. We are already at the step 2.3 already. So thing. We have to load the A3 in the body, and then let's refresh the preview page, and then sphere in 3D that you can already use the AWS DT to move around. The cardboard so to just use the browser. All the things are pretty self-explanatory first, which is by default occupy the whole page. One that define all the objects inside the scene, like there is sphere, there's box, there's cylinder, and plane, and sky, and all kind of stuff. The sky thing is actually the background color of the scene. For example, if we change it to say 0000 FF, then it will become blue. It will become blue. Well, it's really easy to understand. I don't really have to explain nothing. 3D model we created from screen to 3D. To do so, we have to use the command line program because the latest version of the command line program called SSIM or ASIM, I don't know, SSIM. The latest stable release of that is buggy, so we have to actually use the development. If you're and you can use and after that use the computer terminal. Well, do the installation. You start because the 500 we can rate. Sure, compiling the program. The camera which is well other with other things, which is also by default the other ones on the top. And so zip back button so inside doing that let's be just let all the files you have created. Actually the program is compiled and then it's also important, so we have to enter again, which is the last command is to do ld config. Sim something. You may just type asim, get something like this. Of course, the instruction is pasted. This here. Sim export. And then if you are using Cloud9 and you just compile the thing like me, you will go to, you will change directory to the ASIM folder. So you workspace ASIM build but we tune the web space. Yeah, make sure we are moment please. I think I have exceeded the yeah. And then the file name 1.38e, the model config, and then you can see that we have a converter file. Using this coder, we try to load this file into the scene. To do so, Colada is the format name of the source, and then similar we can use directly and then code the path and then well there will be line. Okay. Let's remove all the here page because this guy is just the background cover. So text 01. And then save it. And then let's take a look at the review page. And then don't panic. It's normal to be empty. Why? Option I got the inspector and then large with respect to the APM's coordinating system. So the problem is that actually the Sweet Home 3D model that is exported is having its unit by default set to 1 unit is equal to 1 goes to 1 meters, 1 meter. So we have to scale. To do so, of course, build inside the Colada model thing, and then 0.01, you have to import this scale. The scale property is a vector of 3 value. That is the X scale, Y scale, and Z scale. And after you have do this, let's just refresh the page, and then again there is nothing. And so actually the house is. So we can already use the AWS key and then to move around and see the exterior of the house. And then we can also see the interior of it. We just have to walk right through the wall. We haven't set up any collision detection, so if you do not know what is wall, what can pass through, what cannot, and then by default everything can be passed through by camera. So we will set up the collision detection just a moment. So hopefully you will see this house. And is there any problem? So any other problem? Change the scale, you just input another attribute called scale inside the Colada model tag. So you will have a source attribute and then a scale attribute, and then you will save it and then refresh the page and then okay. Of course, you will think that you have to turn around to find the house. Of course, you can set the position of the camera or set the position of the house, which is somewhat. Let's try to set the position of the house. So let's launch the inspector again. Control also the A color model we have just imported. And then let's take a look and see that better. So good view of the initial view that you want. I decided, well, it's okay, then just hold this position and then launch the inspector. Camera, which is an A entity with a camera icon, and then let's copy all everything. Maybe not. To create a camera, actually, we can notice that in the A scene tab there is no camera tab there, because by default, even if you provide the position and the pointing angle of the camera, we have input A entity, and then give it a component which is just and then copy. So A entity, camera, position. When we refresh, is A entity. And then let's move on to stop people going through the wall. A third-party component, third-party package for A-frame, which is called A-frame extra, which is let's keep 216 for now. We want to load the A-frame extra script, so put it inside the head, just below the A-frame master .js script, and then let's see. By default, the A-frame default camera position on door, all kind of stuff, and then we are going to use the camera that provided by thing here, and then paste it at the same position and rotation. So the final thing will be 8 entity camera controls, and then kinematic body, and then no camera. Save it. And this